Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnanandjana Shalakaya Chaksholanmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahim Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Gurun Sri Yutam Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Visakham Bhutamsa He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vesavanusruti Manavami Hari Priya Vanchakalparu Vyasta Kripa Sindhyarevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasari Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Bhagavad-Gita cities ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. A reading from Srimad Bhagavad-Gita cities, chapter 14. The three modes of material nature. Text number 6. Tatra Sattvam Nirmalatvat Prakasakam Anamayam Sukha Sangena Badnati Jnana Sangena Chanaga Tatra Sattvam Nirmalatvat Prakasakam Anamayam Sukha Sangena Bhatmati Jnana Sangena Chanaga Tatra Sattvam Nirmalatvat Prakasakam Anamayam Sukha Sangena Bhatnati Jnana Sangena Chanaga Tatra Sattvam Nirmalatvat Prakasakam Anamayam Sukha Sangena Bhatnati Jnana Sangena Chanaga Asugena Padnati Jana Sangena Chanaga Tatra Sattvam Nirmalatvat Prakasakam Anamayam Sukha Sangena Padnati Jana Sangena Chanaga. Tatra there Sattvam, the mode of goodness, Nirmalatvat, being purest in the material world, Prakasakam, illuminating, Anamayam, without any sinful reaction, Sukha, with happiness, Sangena, by association, Bhatnati, conditions, Jnana, with knowledge, Sangena, by association, Cha, also, Anaga, or sinless one. Translation and purport by Divine Grace, Lesi Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki. O son of Bharat, know that the mode of good. So, yeah. O sinless one, the mode of goodness, being purer than the others, is illuminating. And it frees one from all sinful reactions. Those situated in that mode become conditioned by a sense of happiness and knowledge. Please repeat. O sinless one, the mode of goodness, being purer than the others, is illuminating, and it frees one from all sinful reactions. Those situated in that mood become conditioned by a sense of happiness and knowledge. Purport. The living entities conditioned by material nature are of various types. One is happy, another is very active, and another is helpless. All these types of psychological manifestations are causes of the entity's conditioned status in nature. How they are differently conditioned is explained in this section of Bhagavad-Gita. The mode of goodness is first considered. The effect of developing the mode of goodness in the material world is that one becomes wiser than those otherwise conditioned. A man in the mode of goodness is not so much affected by material miseries, and he has a sense of advancement in material knowledge. The representative type is the Brahmana, who is supposed to be situated in a mode of goodness. This sense of happiness is due to understanding that in the mode of goodness, one is more or less free from sinful reactions. Actually, in the Vedic literature, it is said that the mode of goodness means greater knowledge and a greater sense of happiness. The difficulty here is that when a living entity is situated in the mode of goodness, he becomes conditioned to feel that he is advanced in knowledge and is better than others. In this way, he becomes conditioned. The best examples are the scientists and the philosophers. Each is very proud of his knowledge, and because they gradually improve their living conditions, they feel a sort of material happiness. This sense of advanced happiness is conditioned to life. In conditioned life, makes them bound by the mood of goodness of material nature. As such, they are attracted towards working in the mode of goodness, and as long as they have an attraction for working in that way, they have to take some type of body in the modes of nature. Thus, there is no likelihood of liberation or of being transferred to the spiritual world. Repeatedly, one may become a philosopher, a scientist, or a poet, and repeatedly become entangled in the same disadvantages of birth and death. But due to the illusion of the material energy, one thinks that that sort of life is pleasant. Hare Krishna. Or sinless one. The mode of goodness, being higher and purer than the others, is illuminating, and it frees one from all sinful reactions. Those situated in that mode become conditioned by a sense of happiness and knowledge. The chapter heading is the three modes of material nature. And the particular text or this section, Lord Krishna is describing how each of the modes condition us. The mode of ignorance condition us to darkness, not having interest in spiritual things. The mode of passion has its own contamination. Intense greed condition us to constantly desire for gratification. Similarly, the mode of goodness has its contaminations as well. According to this verse, the contamination is two: happiness and knowledge. The Christian said, This goodness is illuminating. Whereas others are not so illuminating. The goodness is illuminating. Why? Because it frees one from all sinful reactions. Passion and ignorance doesn't free one as such. But why goodness is also conditioning us? Ignorance and passion we understand. Goodness, it is said here to be better, purer than others. So, if it is purer, if it is freeing us from all sinful reactions, why conditioning again? It is conditioning because it is not transcendental. The modes, they are said to be three. So goodness is also within the mode. It's not free. Only transcendence is free. Means that now we are completely out of the modes. So, goodness is also conditioning because one is free from sins to some extent. In the mode of goodness, the situation is better. You see in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, now the Muni met the Bhakti-Vedantas. By the association, he became purified and contacted their own nature, which is Krishna consciousness. So, he has no more desire for material things. Because according to him, he said, it was in my ignorance I was thinking to be separate from Krishna. But in actuality, we are one in quality. Now I can realize this by the powerful association of the Bhakti-Vedantas. I can realize that, oh, ignorance makes a fool of me. So all my conceptions, my understandings were all misconceptions. Now I can understand that we are all transcendental because we are parts and parcel of Krishna. So what is the duty of one who has come to the realization? It's Krishna consciousness. So he continued with his Krishna conscious activities. On the process, Lord Krishna appeared to him. Lord Krishna said, my dear boy, I have appeared before you to encourage you that what you are doing, it is real. It is the best. And it is true that you will get me in person. But not in this lifetime. That will happen in the next life. For this lifetime, you will never see me again. Is that good? Is that good for a devotee? Is that encouragement or discouragement? Is that encouragement or discouragement? For me, this is discouragement. Why not? Why not this lifetime? If I have been able to get to you. So Krishna is speaking to Narada Muni face to face. This was not just celestial voice speaking. He was standing before Narada. Narada could see him, and he was seeing Narada Muni. So so the next thing, I should grab you, say with me. Is it not? You are right here already. So why next life? Come on, say with me. I would have done that because I'm not pure. Now the Muni is different. He is very, very humble. That is a quality of purity. Humility, natural humility. He was very, very appreciative of what he has gotten. After all, I have gotten more than what I bargained. Suppose he did not appear to me at all. What will I do? So what we have done is much. So, no problem. And Krishna said, for this lifetime, you will not see me again. Why not? Narada has come to this level, seeing Krishna face to face. He's hearing Krishna speaking to him directly. They are conversing. What's the problem? Krishna said, there is the tinge of goodness in your purity. You still enjoy happiness based on goodness. This is your contamination. Therefore, get rid of it, and that will take you this lifetime. Next time, we will meet. That's a problem with goodness. So we shouldn't be confused. Look, listen very carefully. Listen very carefully. We don't hear, we should try to hear. While we are explaining this, see, hear what Krishna said. O sinless one, the mode of goodness, being purer than others, is illuminating, and it frees one from all sinful reactions. So if one is free from all sinful reactions, why not now? Why next life? The answer is, from all sinful reactions to the gross sinful reactions, we are freed. The subtle one, we still have to deal with it. So we are free from gross sinful reactions. We also had to get free from the subtle reactions. There are so many narrators we carry with us to Krishna consciousness, to devotional service. As we are practicing, they are getting destroyed. Yet, there are also so many narrators which were acquired within the process of devotional service. In Krishna consciousness, there are so many narrators which we also get. That also we have to deal with it by the process of Krishna consciousness. So the mode of goodness is not pure. It's not completely pure. Contamination of being happy. The contamination of being better than others. Right? The quality of one feeling better than others is what? Pride, which is passion, not goodness, which is passion. So here, although one is in goodness, if one is not very careful, that goodness can also contaminate us to bring us to passion. But thinking, I'm superior to you. I am better than you. See, my happiness. See, you're miserable. That contamination can bring us down. Therefore, the mode of goodness, it is better, it is superior to others, but it is not a security. It is not a security. Therefore, one should not feel comfortable in being in goodness. Kapil Muni described that the mode of goodness has also a higher contamination. He described that we serve Lord Krishna in a mode of ignorance. Devotional service performed in a mode of ignorance. Devotional service performed in a mode of passion. Devotional service performed in a mode of goodness. Both of them are all separatists. Why separatists? In a mode of goodness, one take to Krishna consciousness out of fear of sin. I don't want to commit sin. I don't want to be entangled. Because the knowledge is there that if we sin, we'll be contaminated, be entangled, we'll continue to degrade, even below the human platform. So this knowledge helps one to position himself or herself in such a way that we don't want to continue sinful activities. Lord Saudeva said, Nunam Parmata Krute, Bikarma Dindira Pritaya Prenoti. That's sad, man, yeah. An intelligent person should not act in such a way that we have already made a mistake acquiring this body. It's a big mistake to acquire this material body. It's already a big mistake. Intelligent person should not use this body to act in such a way that will get another material body. So this gives intelligence, knowledge to understand this. So a person in mode of goodness, he takes to devotional service to avoid sin. That is not pure. Devotional service is done under a Haituki or Pratihata. There is no cause. That is the beginning of devotional service. No cause. It has no strings attached. So that is goodness. That one can come down to passion, to feel superior to others. I'm better than you. So I'm very happy. That happiness also is so degrading that one can think, I have done it. I have achieved it. That is the problem with Brahmanandas. So Rupa Goswami said, Brahmanandas, useless. Brahmananda is not ignorance, it's not passion. Brahmananda is goodness. Rupa Goswami said, Brahmananda, useless. Because the contamination is there, or thinking that I have gotten it. I'm okay now, everything is done, finished. No need to go further. I have gotten it. I have gotten it. I have gotten to the highest level, because the bliss, the enjoyment which comes from there is another intoxication. And one can become stuck there in that progress, that process. So Rupa Goswami said, we are not interested in Brahmananda. We are interested in Paramananda. Because Paramananda is what? Brahma Sokyam Tu Anantam. That's Paramananda. So devotees transcend the mode of goodness. Because it is the beginning of devotional service. Pure devotional service begins from this level, when one can see the difference. I can have a complete understanding that yes, Krishna consciousness is the goal, is the ultimate. Therefore, anything else below this should not be considered as an important thing. So we move forward. So it is said here, it is illuminating. Because it is illuminating, it is better than others modes. And Prabhupada began the purport. The living entities conditioned by material nature are of various types. One is happy, which is goodness. Another is very active, which is passion. And another is helpless. So Prabhupada put it, say is helpless. Because in darkness, in the mode of ignorance, one does not see the need to take to the rigor of spiritual life. Why do I have to undergo all these difficulties? Why do I have to undergo all these difficulties when I'm already peaceful? Ignorance is peaceful. It's peaceful one. So one can settle on that ignorance and think there's no need to take all the difficulties. After all, one devotee told me, you know, when I chant seriously, I have so many problems. If I chant less, I get less problems. Therefore, what should I do? Chant less. Chant less. Because you have less problems. See, proper use the word here, helpless. Every word are very significant. Every single word. Proper say the helpless. Is this devotee helpless or not? This devotee, is he helpless or not helpless? He's helpless. He considered chanting less to be better than chanting more. Where is that intelligent person who will tell me that chanting more is not good? Where? Who is that? Helpless child, helpless person will feel like this. He's helpless. If one is not helpless, one will realize that chanting more is what? Better. According to Padma Purana, what does it say? The process of overcoming inattentive or offensive chanting is what? Chant less? Padma Purana recommends what? What did he say? Chant less. Right? No. He recommends what? Chant more. More than 16. So 16 is for lazy people, for helpless people. Let us chant more. What did the devotee say? I want to chant less because too much problem. The Prabhupada said helpless. Chant less. So I was smiling when he was talking. When he was expressing his helplessness, I was just smiling. I was like smiling. So I said, my friend, you see, if you helplessness, proper use the word helplessness. If you are cleaning a room which has not been cleaned for 10 years, you understand? A room that has not been cleaned for 10 years, how clean is that place? It does mean, right? Now, after 10 years, you have entered the room to clean. How will you feel? Comfortable? How will you feel? All the doors that have been waiting for you for 10 years will rise up at once. Not simultaneously. They will all do what? Rise at once. Where? Upon you. This is what happens when we are chanting Hare Krishna. When we are chanting Hare Krishna, means what? We are stimulating all the accumulated doors that have been there for years, since time immemorial. All the doors will come, and the experience is that the mind will go to all directions and all places except Krishna. The man goes there. So if one is very careful, then you will think, does it need for me to do all this? After, when he entered the room, did you see the dust? When he entered there, the doors were disturbing you. The doors were peacefully lying down there. But now you want to clean, and all the doors are coming up at once upon you and suffocating. So it's not better to leave it as it is? Is it not? The Papa say helpless. Helpless. So I said, my friend, a helpless child needs support, right? A baby was trying to walk here. He stood up, but how perfect was his stand? Only for a few minutes. He had to go back there. So you need support. So all of us need what? Support. Being helpless, we need support. The support is the knowledge of the scripture and the sadhus around. They support us. So I was supporting him. I was trying to support him. I was trying to support him. I said, my friend, see, what is happening is that if you leave the room and run outside, you will not feel the dust again, is it not? And what will happen to the dust? They will follow you outside? No, they will settle back there in that very room, not outside. So if we stop chanting more, the mind will not disturb us. The mind will not stop disturbing us. It will reduce because we have reduced the velocity of effort we're making. So the mind will reduce. But the debt, the accumulated debt which have been there, it will settle back there in the mind. So for an intelligent person, we should continue to sweep. We should continue to sweep. Keep sweeping. I bet it's a fine cloth to tie the nose. And continue to sweep. After a while, all the dust will not settle back in the room. They will all go outside. And then you have what? A very hygienic, peaceful, and serene environment to live in without disease. This is what Krishna consciousness will do. So we have to go beyond the mode of goodness. Hare Krishna. Comment? Question? Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for an amazing and very nice class. Very good.
Just a minute. Just a minute.
Thank you so much for an amazing and erudite class. It was very well presented. My question is about the mode of goodness. Like the way the way the Krishna consciousness movement is set up, like the way our spiritual life is set up, anyone who practices Krishna consciousness automatically, even if he's on the lower modes of nature, like the mode of ignorance or passion, he's automatically risen up to the mode of goodness. And a lot of us, a lot of Vaishnavas are in the mode of goodness. But sometimes one may become a bit complacent and comfortable in the mode of goodness. So much so that one finds so much happiness that sometimes I've seen in my life, I even forget Krishna, because I'm so happy in the mode of goodness. It's just like, wow, you're a vegetarian, living calm, you're going to the temple, you have some good people around you, like life is just, wow, But the acharyas, they comment again and again how one has to rise from the mode of goodness to pure goodness to Shuddha Sattva. So my question is, how to practically ascend the modes of nature, especially the mode of goodness, to reach the mode of Shuddha Sattva? Like, I just want to make one more comment before I answer. Like when you mentioned how Narada Muni, Krishna comes and then he says, okay, I can't see you again because you still have the mode of goodness. Right, so maybe next life, when you get purified. So I'm just like, well, I have so many, conditioning. I mean, I don't know how many lives I have to take. So my question is how to practically ascend the mode of goodness to attain pure goodness.
Very good. Very good. When we take to Krishna consciousness, we are coming with fire up spirit, because the fire of material energy has been burning us. So we are going to Krishna consciousness with the full force. I will just become a devotee 2 years. 2 years. Pure devotee. Very good. After coming to Krishna consciousness, Rupa Goswami said, pure devotional self has wonderful characters that it will automatically put out the fire. And when that happens, oh Krishna, thank you very much, I have made it. What is that? Complacency comes in. I'm all right now. So, look at me, like you mentioned it. Look at me. Bhagavad-Gita, 700 verses in my head. Bhagavatam. I have covered all. I have covered all. So, pastimes, I have had, I have visited, this is me, Krishna, thank you. As complacency becomes a very big obstacle and invisibly. We don't notice it. We simply float and think that we are in Krishna consciousness. We would think like that. We are in Krishna consciousness. But Krishna consciousness is not about being a parrot. Yes. After all, we have a bird which is called Burunda bird. Burunda bird. This Burunda bird lives in the Himalayas with sages and is very experienced in hearing every conversation the sages discuss. He hears everything perfectly and has also the ability to distribute it as it is. But he will never practice one thing. In Krishna consciousness, most of us are so like that. They are functioning like that, but we don't realize that this is what we are in Krishna consciousness. We can think like that. But our acharyas does not settle on this, and they don't want to settle on the ephemerals. We have to go deeper to transcend the mode of goodness and come to the pure goodness. So how do we transcend? How do we go there? That was the question. How do we go there? The system how to transcend goodness is already given to us. A person who wakes up 3 o'clock in the morning, what is that? A person who wakes up 3 o'clock in the morning, what is that? 3 in the morning. Goodness. It's goodness to begin with. And then you are taking a fresh bath, putting a fresh dress. What is that? Goodness. You are going to chant the holy name of Lord Krishna and hear Srimad Bhagavatam and attain Bhagavad-Gita. What is that? Goodness. The system is already established. We simply need to take them not externally as rituals, but to go deep into all the technologies which are already available for us. We will transcend the mode of goodness. We have to take this. Rupa Goswami said Krishna consciousness is an active process. Active. And it requires active involvement, engagement. So now we have to deeply practice them. They will become a reality. Eating sanctify the food. What is that? Goodness. So we have all living in a clean environment. Where devotees were the same model. Look at your deities. Perfect system. It's already put in place. We simply need to go deeper every day. We are doing the same thing, but our consciousness should not remain the same. Did you know that after 1 year we are going to do have Bhagavad-Gita by 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock? No, it will remain 4:30. It is not that we are going to chant, change. We are not going to change the song. It's the same song we are going to sing, but every day we sing, the realization becomes different. That is the process of transcendence. To take them deeply.
Just on that topic, one other thought I have. In the class you mentioned devotional service should be performed without any tinge of personal motivation.
Good.
Like even let's say when we're doing spiritual practices, there might be some motivation to please the Guru, Vaishnavas, Acharyas, or even just to be, in the temple, just, be a good devotee to the same people. How does one transcend that personal motivation, so to say? And is it like attachment altogether, or attachment to please the Lord? What do you mean by no personal motivation?
Yes. In the beginning, every one of us will have a desire. I want to go back to Godhead. Everyone, that should be the goal. Because if we don't have something to identify with, our interest will not be strong. Going back to Godhead, Krishna. Already Prabhupada also said that. Back to Godhead. That is the goal. I want to go back. So if that becomes a predominant factor, desire in our consciousness, I want to put effort in my practice so I can go back to Godhead. It's very, very good. It is not bad. Perfect. Advancement in Krishna consciousness means when this motive will have enthusiasm to face all challenges which are necessary for us to reach the goal. When we get to that goal, that desire should be changed. Now, Krishna, I don't want to go to Godhead again. Now, if you want to send me to hell, Haribol. You want me to go to heaven? Haribol. You want me to go to Goloka? Haribol. Whatever you want to from me, Haribol. Thank you in all circumstances. That is the last 6-second prayer. In any condition, I remain your eternal servant. But that is the experience of Uttam Bhakta. In the beginning, we should begin from the beginning, having a desire to go back to Godhead.
Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, I'm helpless. You are speaking about insisting on more helpless. You see, sometimes many devotees, they have their so many service, so they are engaging their service, so they think that sometimes chanting is difficult, or coming to Mangal Aarti, when they come to Mangal Aarti and they feel drowsy, they in the front of deity, they close their eyes, they are meditating, but actually they feel drowsy sometimes. So how we can help that devotee that he can think that when we are coming from Mangal Aarti, we should open our eyes and take darshan of the Lord. How we can help him, and how he is saying that he is engaging so many service, so he doesn't have much opportunity to chant more and more.
Thank you. If we don't chant, the service which we do is not devotional service, it is mechanical service. Mechanical service will never please Krishna, because it is, you see, Prabhupada added devotion to service. Prabhupada did that. Means what? There is service and devotional service. We have to make our services what? Devotional by acting devotion to it. Otherwise, it is normal thing that people do outside. All the wonderful services we do in Krishna consciousness, they are not devotional service until we consciously offer these things to Krishna as devotional. Then it becomes devotional service. So if devotional service is making us not to chant, it is not devotional service. A devotee should not have service that will not make him or her to chant. It is wrong. We will not last in that service because it is mechanical. One day it will become so pronounced that we will be thinking, this temple depends on me. I am the one maintaining this temple. See all these lazy people? You are lazy, sitting down and chanting the Krishna, but I am doing all the services in this temple. This temple is maintained by me. It is me who owns this temple. Am I thinking like this? What we'll do? We will step on everyone's feet. And by doing that, it's a very good chance for us to leave the Western service. Because we will think that, see all these useless people, I don't have to associate with all these useless people. They're not fit for me again. Let me go away. My mind will tell me that, oh, you see, you are very powerful, you are pure. Just go and see this temple will close down because you are the one maintaining. But in actuality, it is me who has become so contaminated that I'm not fit to be in this environment, and Krishna is throwing me out. But we don't see that because we're covered. So let us reduce the service so we can chant. We must chant before we do our service. If you don't chant before you do the service, that service is mechanical. Krishna will not take it. You see, if you enter the altar without chanting, if you enter the kitchen to cook without chanting, contaminated. That is contaminated. Krishna is the husband of the goddess of fortune. He does not need our cooking, which is contaminated by pride, by lust, by anger. So, a serious devotee should compose himself or herself before he enter the kitchen, before he go to the altar, because any energy, any level of consciousness will take to the altar, will take to the kitchen. Krishna will use that to spread, that the consciousness will dominate the whole of that environment. Anyone who comes in that temple, that energy is the welcoming energy that will welcome people to that environment. It is contamination. And people come there. If a serious devotee comes to that environment, he'll feel uncomfortable. But rascals, when they come there, they'll feel comfortable because that is their home. The environment is contaminated. That is their home. They'll feel comfortable. They'll be there. But sincere devotees, when they visit such a place, they feel uncomfortable. These are not gross things that we see, but they are subtle energy, but they are very, very, very strong. Vidura told Maharaja Yudhishthira, see, you are a Kshatriya. You know about weapon. Physical weapon, you know, it will destroy. But let me tell you, there is another weapon which is not gross. It's very, very subtle. But that subtle weapon is more powerful than the gross weapon which you know. So where you are going, be careful. So the subtle energy is stronger than the gross energy. So we should be conscious of that. That we are devotees means Krishna looks at the quality of what we are offering him. Krishna look at the quality. He doesn't see the external, but Krishna sees what we are offering. That is, see what is behind the offering. That is what Krishna will respond to. Devotees who are working so hard, so busy that they have no time to chant and not helping themselves. And those of us who are leading and giving this services to devotees without checking how devotees are functioning, we are also responsible for any sin that they will commit. We are responsible. We will share the karma. So a leader, as they've said, is a very dangerous position. Because if you take a position, we're not going to help people to go back to Godhead, to see that all the devotees under us are sincerely and seriously taking their sadhana very seriously. We are facilitating their ignorance. we will share the reactions. So it is not an easy situation to get a position and sit on a big chair and get all the wonderful facilities. They will offer you businesses first. They will offer you every item first. It's not so easy like that. All those things are offering to you are heavy loads if you don't know the science of channeling them to the supreme owner of everything. It becomes a very heavy load on our head. That is why many leaders have difficulties. So the Papa gave example of Nehru. In India, he became a dog in Sweden. Not in India, in Sweden.
What?
Sweden.
Sweden.
Yes, a dog.
Dog.
Yes. A big politician in India, one time, big politician in India, the next slide was a dog, not even a human body, a dog in Sweden. Yes. Why? He was thinking Indian culture useless. He appreciated the demonic Western culture. I'm sorry to say that. But that is what it is. What is American culture? Yeah, so what is that? It's not a culture, barbarian. But Indian culture is what? Vedic culture is human life, Aryan, civilized. So this man minimized civilization for barbaric life. And nature is so kind that he gave him a body of, okay, you like that place, go there as a dog, not even as a human being. This is what it takes to be a leader. You should be careful. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad-Gita ki jai.